everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about the brows. So I'll be the first to admit in saying that I got into the whole eyebrow thing really late. I am very lazy, as you know, when it comes to makeup. Now today I have got 3 techniques, 1, 2 and 3-step techniques that you can do very easily at home so that you can get your brows on fleek. What I use to shape my brows is actually this tiny little tweezer that I picked up from Farmers, I think. I can't remember. It's been my companion for a couple of years now. And if you own a tweezer, you know how much you get used to your own tweezer because you learn how to work it. And it's so hard to use someone else's tweezer if you lose it. So I keep a very close eye on this and make sure that I don't lose it. Now, if you are new to tweezing, I would say give it a go, but don't do it if you're uncomfortable. There's always people that can either wax your eyebrows or thread your eyebrows or even tweeze your eyebrows. Get a professional to do it because you don't want an eyebrow disaster, which I have had multiple times. So when I now do my tweezing, I never go above the eyebrow, always go beneath the eyebrow because you want it looking as natural as possible. And I take out any bits sort of in the middle between my eyebrows. Obviously, some people do prefer to have some hair in the middle. If this suits you, amazing, keep it. Another thing is, if you have really thick eyebrows, please do not pluck it too much. It just looks beautiful and everyone's dying to have thick eyebrows, so don't lose it. Now, my eyebrows are naturally sort of, I guess, average size. They're not bushy, they're not too thin. Obviously, if you have thicker eyebrows or thinner eyebrows, to me, the techniques that you will need will be slightly different. But if you adapt the ways that I talk about to your preference, then I think it'll work for you as well. Now, the techniques that I'm going to talk to you about literally takes me a few minutes. I know that you see on Instagram and YouTube like people doing amazing eyebrows, but honestly guys, that takes a lot of time and it takes experience as well. I do not have the time nor the patience for that, so I have adapted these simple ways to do my brows. So I hope this helps, and I hope that you can take on board some of the handy hints and adapt it to your own makeup technique as well. Now, a couple of years ago, I wasn't doing anything for my brows because I didn't think it needed anything, and I didn't want to get eyebrow gel and shaping tools and everything. One of my friends suggested using mascara on my eyebrows, which honestly was a revelation. I mean, it's so easy to think of that, but once you try it, you'll see that it works so well.
And I am surrounded by all my mascara, and I'm missing one which is on the floor. Got it. Alright.
So if you're wondering which mascara to use, it honestly does not matter. Right now I'm using the Maybelline New York, the Colossal Volume Express. Just make sure that you take out the excess, just blot it onto a tissue paper because you don't want gloopy eyebrows. And then you want to make sure that when you are applying it, you apply it in an upward motion, because if you smear it across, what happens is the brows actually drag down over time, and that's happened to me, and I've just learned from experience to never just smear it across but push it upwards. And don't worry about little specks falling on the skin because you can just brush it off later and fix it as you go. Just coat it evenly across your eyebrow and make sure that you follow your natural arch of the eyebrow. Now, you can either use 1 or 2 coats for this. If I'm in a hurry, I just use 1 coat, but on this I am going for a 2nd coat so that you guys can see how different it actually does look even with just mascara on the eyebrow. So you can see here that the eyebrow literally looks thicker, and how simple was that? It was just mascara, nothing else, and it looks like $100. Now, the two-step technique that I'm talking to you about is first putting on the mascara on the brow, and second, using a concealer or a highlighter under the brow. Now, one thing that it does is that if you have stray hairs under the brow, when you use concealer, it just covers it all and it looks like you've just recently had a wax. And when you put highlighter on, it actually brings the bone forward and makes the eyebrow look like a different entity, so it looks more prominent. So what I use is my concealer, which is NARS in medium to dark to caramel. And for the highlighter, obviously you guys know how much I've been loving Iconic London products, so for the highlighter I'm using the Illuminator in the color Original. So just make sure that you apply the concealer right under the eyebrow with a thin coat. Don't worry if you get it on the hair, you can fix it later with a little bit of mascara, and just dab it on so that you blend it with the foundation but also your eyeshadow. This literally takes like 2 seconds to do, but it makes such a big difference. And you can see here how prominent your eyebrows look. Obviously, if you want, you can use a lighter color underneath the brow, but it's completely up to you. Now, the 3-step technique that I'm talking to you guys about is actually using an eyebrow gel, but this only takes like 2 minutes to do, honestly. And it's using 2 little beauties which are from Benefit. One of them is called Brow, and it comes in this little package. So it's got a wand that you can place here. Open it up. So you can use this just as you're holding a pen, and this one is sort of like dark brown really. Just very important, when you use it, just smear it very thinly, and you just need to make sure that when you're using it, the longer length should always be directed to your nose, purely because I found that using it on the other side, it does not work, or it gives like a really weird shape to your eyebrow when you use it like that. So this is very simple to use. It sort of like fills your eyebrows, gives it definition, gives it shape. The second one is called EYEBROW, also by Benefit, and this is a brow volumizing fiber gel in number 5. This is sort of interesting. So what it does is it makes your eyebrows look 3D, because when you do use gel, you can flatten and sort of take away that volume away from your eyebrows. So this gives it a bit of an oomph, bit of character, so that it sort of stands out and is prominent. What I start with is just filling my brows, following the natural arch, the natural shape of my brow. And that's just one coat. And then the second coat I use to shape my brows. I start at the top and follow my arch, because I do like having a bit of an arch. And just press it on really lightly. You don't need to drag it across, you don't need to push too hard. Just have a light touch and make sure that you follow the natural shape of your eyebrow. And then when you come to the middle, just make sure you pull the hairs up, because you don't want all of them facing the same way. That's not the natural look. I mean, it's super easy, but you can see the difference yourself. So the shading in the middle should be a bit lighter compared to the sides. Once you're happy with the shape of it, then it's time to use your volumizing fiber gel, EYEBROW. Now, the way that the makeup artist showed me is to ruffle your eyebrows first. It looks super weird, but it's just so that you can get a lot of volume. And once you're done with that, you sort of comb it back, but don't push your brush onto your skin too much, because you don't want to make it flat. And we're done. So you can, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a lot more volume on the right side compared to my left. So these two together I love the combination. It just makes my brows look amazing, but without too much effort and without needing that much time. So that is it, guys. Honestly, super simple ways to make your eyebrows looking like $1,000. All of the lazy hacks that I use to do my eyebrows, and I hope they've been helpful. I hope that you can take away at least one of them and use it in your own makeup routines. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried them. Give this a like, give it a subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, have an amazing week ahead.
Oh, I can't see the t-shirt. There are obviously like 2 different shapes and sizes. Oh well. It's alright. It'll do. It'll do. Didn't know I could juggle, did you? Probably can't.